this video, I have 10 tips for you to make your planner look good every single week. Hello and welcome to today's video. I have 10 fantastic tips for you that will help you make decorating your planner easier and also make it look great every single time. We've got design principles, we've got different tips and tricks from me, so let's get started. My first tip for you is to choose a color theme and stick to it. Now you can choose soft pastels like this, or you could choose more brighter colors that are happy and jump off the page. It doesn't matter what you choose. The most important thing is you stick to that color scheme on your spread, or maybe your insert or whatever. It's going to be a certain theme. It doesn't mean that you have to stay with the same color theme through the whole insert or the whole planner. You can have something completely different on the next page. It's just that you need to stick to one color scheme per spread, and that way everything will look cohesive as you turn the pages. Each page will look great. If you are unsure of what color scheme to choose, you can stick with a collection from a brand like this is Carpe Diem, or you can use a kit from your favorite sticker shop on Etsy, and everything will look great if you stick to one thing. Now, my second tip will also help you if you're unsure of what color scheme to try. Number 2 is to find your style. It can be hard to figure out what your planning style is, especially if you're new to planning, but even still, if you've been at it for a while, it might be a little bit difficult and you're not quite sure what your style is. One of the best ways to find your style is to go to your Instagram feed and see what you are double tapping the most, and just scroll and see which ones jump out at you the most, which ones you're really drawn to. Now, these could be pages that are full to the brim with stickers and lots of black pen and chocked full of fun stuff, or they can be very minimalistic, very bare minimum, or they could be somewhere in between. You can find colors that you like, you can find sticker stores that you like. Start there. Start by what you're double tapping on Instagram or whatever social media you like the best, and then I want you to copy those. I want you to have a look at those different layouts and copy those. And as you're copying them, your style will emerge. You'll discover whether or not you actually like making pages like this, or maybe you just like looking at them. Maybe you like the full ones, but when it comes to actually decorating your own planner, you like it to look more minimal. But be patient. It will take time to find your style. Number 3 is to find a template, a way of decorating your pages so that even though they'll look completely different depending on the colors and the stickers you use, you can use that template as a basis and your pages will come together faster. For example, this is about a year ago, and what I would do is I would fill the space with either paper or washi. I would put decorations in the boxes that I wasn't really using, and I'd have little clusters in the corners. And you can see it's similar on the next page. I've filled this spot, I've got a cluster here, and some of the boxes are full. Same thing here, there's washi along the bottom, a few clusters here, and I filled in some of the boxes that I wasn't using. In my Carpe Diem weekly, my template is a bit different. I will put things on the edges, usually squares, or here there's a bicycle, and then I will add a few things underneath the dates. You can see that on other pages I sort of do the same thing, keeping the center spots open for writing. Here's another example. It's completely different style, but I've got things underneath the dates and then over in the corners on the edges, and the centers are free for writing. When it comes to monthly though, I like to have the boxes free so I can write things in because there's a lot to write and the spaces are small, but then I will decorate around the edges. And there's another example here where again the boxes are pretty much free except for days that I know that I've got less going on and the decoration is more towards the edges. So find a template that you find easy so that as you look through your planner later, it's going to look consistent. But at the same time, it's easy, especially for beginners who are kind of overwhelmed by all this stuff, to just be able to fill in the stickers in the same spot every time. Have a template that works for you, and with different stickers, with different colors, it's going to look different every time. And this isn't just for beginners, this is for anyone who's sort of struggling to get it to look the way they want. Now, number 4 is to use repositionable stickers. Now, I love the Carpe Diem stickers because as you are planning, you can put a sticker down, and if you don't like where it is, you can pick it up and move it, and then pick it up and move it until you find the spot where you like it to go. But then once you've got it all designed and it's all finished, it's going to stick firm, so it's not going to fall out of your planner. So let's look at an older one. If I try to pull these stickers up, it's it's starting to rip. That's stuck on and it's not going anywhere. So you have that freedom of moving that sticker around as much as you want until you've got the design set. But then once it's set for good and it's not going to fall out of your planner. Repositionable stickers are very forgiving. We all make mistakes. It's easier to experiment and try things out to make your page look nice. Of course, repositionable stickers are harder to find. They're not always the best quality. And of course, they're harder to find if they're more rare. It limits the designs you can choose when it comes to Etsy shops and things like that. That's why I like the Carpe Diem ones, because they are repositionable and then they stick once you're done and they're there for good. Number 5, I want to talk about one of my favorite design principles. If you want something to automatically look great, add a triangle. And I'm not talking about the actual shape. I don't want you to put like a triangle sticker in here. What I want you to do is add 3 of very similar things, either that's color, shape, or something along that line, into your planner into a triangle shape. For example, here, this pop of turquoise is in 3 spots. So it makes a triangle in my planner. There's also a bit here that's less obvious, is this black and white checked underneath there. That also makes a triangle. Here's another example in the pockets just alone here. I've used this pretty green color here, here, and here, and that makes a triangle like this. On this side, I've used the black and white polka dots here, here, and here, which make a triangle. But also, if you take the whole thing into consideration, I have 2 compasses and then this circle stamp, and that's similar to the compass in that it's circle and it's basically black and white. So that also makes a triangle over the whole page. On this next insert, I have 3 little clusters. So those clusters are the triangle. It's not necessarily an element on its own, but it's the actual cluster. There's 3 clusters there that make the triangle. And on this one, again, it's that black and white washi here, here, and here. If you want to look at a monthly spread, here I have 3 boxes that are similar in color. This one has the peach here, but they all have that peachy color. And in this one, I've done again with the clusters. I have a cluster up here, one over here, and one down here that make a triangle on the page. So you can use triangles either with color, with shape, with a cluster, with an element. You can have like flowers or hearts or anything. Here's another example here. I've used this pop of red, again with the checked green here. There's all kinds of ways that you can put triangles into your planners, so experiment, because it's a lot of fun, and just something as simple as 3 little red stickers can really make a difference. Number 6 is sort of an extension of the triangle. What we want to do is to add things in odd numbers. So if you look at the green stars, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Odd numbers, for some reason, make your eye move across the page. So put things on your page in 3s, 5s, 7s. Here, for example, in this cluster here, I have 3 stars. Down here, I also have 3 stars. Up here, I have 3 stars. So I like putting things in odd numbers. On this page, I have these 3 butterflies that are basically flying up the page, and being in odd numbers makes it a lot more appealing than if it was 2 or 4. On this insert here, I have 3 phrases there, and I have 3 banner stickers up there. I also have 3 hearts. So you can see I have things in 3s, 5s, 7s very often. On this page, I have 3 checklists, 3 boxes. So you see, I mostly use 3s because it's easier than trying to get 5 or 7 in there, but at the same time, 5, 7 work just as well as 3. On to number 7. We're going to talk about pens. There's a lot to consider with a pen. First, it actually has to write nice on your paper. I like, for a ballpoint, just a basic Bic works really well, but this is my favorite pen. It's the Papermate Flare. It has like a pointed tip compared to, say, this one, for example, which is almost like a cylinder. So basically you can only write with it straight up because the sides of the felt don't actually write, where the sides of all of this will write just fine. So those are my favorites. You have to find your favorites, and of course the only way you're going to do that is by trial and error. Now sometimes a pen may look pretty, but when you go to write with it, it's either really cumbersome to use, or like this one I find is quite slippery and it doesn't really write as nice. This one writes really nice, but I find it's really fat. It's hard for me to get a grip on, but I do really like the way it writes. So what you need to do is to decide whether or not you're going to sacrifice like the comfort of how it feels in your hand for how well it actually writes. This one, for example, I'll only use, and I have to actually write with it standing up straight. Whereas this one, I will write whatever my normal writing. You also have to take into consideration the paper that you're using. If you're writing into a planner, maybe a felt pen will sort of seep into the paper, or it will shadow onto the other side, or it'll leak right through to the other side. Also consider your stickers, because sometimes felt pens will not work on certain stickers. If the sticker is shiny or a bit slick, the wet ink from a felt tip will sort of bead up and it won't dry, whereas a ballpoint or something else will write a lot better in those types of stickers. So find a pen that works for you, that works on the paper that you're using, and you'll be all set. Number 8, there really isn't much to say. Washi is amazing. You can use your washi in so many ways in your planner. This one is one of my favorites. This is so pretty. I just love it. I'm not going to say much. I have a whole video on washi tape, and I think there's 21 ways for you to use washi in your planner. I'm going to send you to that video here, and you can have a look at that. There's all kinds of great tips for you on using washi in your planner. If you use your planner outside your home, this next tip is going to really be important for you. I'm talking about the wear and tear of life on your planner. I don't often take my planner outside of my home, and when I do, I usually find things like this at the bottom of my bag. This paper clip used to have something pretty attached to it, and now it just has little random globs of glue. This had a paper clip, but now it no longer does. This one sort of came loose from its paper clip, and this one as well is quite loose. What I should have done was put a big glob of hot glue in between the clip and the fabric so that it's stuck and had the bow would have stayed nice. This one, I should have put more hot glue inside. Same with these two, they weren't hot glued well enough. Sometimes if what I'm gluing to the clip is too slick, the hot glue won't stay very well. It'll stay on something that's fabric, that's got more of something to catch, but if it's too slick, it won't catch. The hot glue will basically peel right off. Things like this, for example, I don't take these planners outside of my house, so I can put all kinds of clips and things in the pockets, on the top, and they will stay basically like this. The things won't budge. It really doesn't take a lot of wear and tear. But the planner that I do take, it really has to be able to stand up. So these are glued on like really tight. I'm sure if I pulled really tight, or if I gave it to my 6-year-old, he would be able to pull that apart, but I can't with just regular wear and tear. This bookmark, for example, is tied on pretty tight. That's not going anywhere. And as you can see, there's not much decoration. These are pretty hardy, they're metal, so they're going to stay on there pretty well. For the most part, this planner is very, very hardy. Things aren't going to fall off or fall apart. If I do need a clip when I'm on the go, I'll probably use something like this. It's really pretty, or like a colored bulldog clip. These pom-poms are also pretty hardy. This one wasn't made very well, so that's why it fell apart, but otherwise these are really hardy. And this one, look, it's already like flopping around. This one, if it's glued properly, it will also stand up, but I just need to use enough hot glue that it's going to take the wear and tear once we leave the house. There really is no point of your planner looking pretty if it's just going to fall apart on you. That just sucks. So make sure that everything that you do, everything that you have is going to hold up in the conditions that you're exposing your planner to. Okay, we're on to my last tip. Repetition is another element of design. So here I have lots of flowers. These flowers are the exact same flowers as here. This one is the same as here. Look, there's a triangle. I've got this bird. So I'm using the same patterns, the same things over and over in my design so that the whole feel is cohesive. Again, a great way of doing this is using a collection or the same sticker kit from the same shop on Etsy. Here I've used repetition in the gingham. Check. This floral pattern is the same as this. Here again, I've used the same floral pattern. It's here, here, and here, plus these big flowers are the same. And I've repeated with other flowers. So there's lots of little flowers, and then there's hearts. So those are the repetitions of this page. Hearts and flowers and this floral pattern. On this page, I've repeated a lot of black. So I've got the black elements here, but I also have this black stripe here, here, and here. And of course, that's a triangle as well, but it's also repetition because I'm using it over and over on the page to sort of make it more cohesive. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite tip is. Which of the 10 tips you're going to use in your next planner spread. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe. I know I mentioned last week that I've got a big project coming up that's close to my heart, but actually that's coming next week. I got my date screwed up, so I'm sorry about that. But make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that, because it's really going to be a good one. Have a fantastic day and happy planning.